A baby can be calm one moment and crying the next. Sometimes all it takes is one person walking closer, reaching out, or trying to hold them. Most adults call it shyness, some call it mood. Others laugh and say the baby is just being difficult. But what if that reaction is not random at all? The usual explanation sounds simple. People say babies cry around certain people because those people are unfamiliar. Maybe they are too loud, maybe they move too fast, maybe the baby is hungry, sleepy, or overstimulated. And sometimes that is true, but that answer does not fully explain what many parents notice in real life. A baby may stay calm with one stranger and instantly cry around another. They may relax in one person's arms and panic in someone else's, even when both people are smiling and speaking gently. So the real question is not just who the person is. The real question is what the baby is actually reacting to. Because babies may not be reacting to the face alone, they may be reacting to the pattern underneath it. Developmental psychologists have spent decades studying how infants respond to faces, voices, emotional tone, and caregiver behavior. Researchers at places like Harvard, Yale, and the University of Toronto have explored how early babies begin reading the emotional world around them. They have looked at how infants respond to stress, facial mismatch, and the difference between a calm presence and an uneasy one. What they found is both simple and surprising. Babies are not passive observers. They are active detectors of rhythm, tension, and emotional consistency. Long before they can speak, they are already learning who feels predictable and who does not. They are building a basic map of safety using voice, movement, touch, timing, and emotional tone. In other words, a baby may respond to a person long before they understand that person. But here is where it gets even more interesting. Sometimes babies cry most around the people who are trying hardest to be gentle, and that may be the biggest clue of all. Imagine a family gathering. The room is full of voices, movement, and attention. A baby sits quietly in a parent's arms, looking around, taking everything in. Then a relative walks over. They are excited to meet the baby. Their voice goes softer. Their smile gets bigger. They lean in quickly and reach out with both hands. The baby stares for a second and then suddenly starts crying. Everyone laughs and says the same thing. The baby does not like them. But maybe that is not what happened. Maybe the baby picked up on something more subtle. The smile looked warm, but the body felt tense. The voice sounded kind, but the energy felt rushed. The person meant well, but the signals did not fully match. For adults, that kind of mismatch can be easy to miss. For babies, it may be exactly what stands out.
Mommy's here with you.
This is one reason infant response studies are so important. In experiments where caregivers suddenly stop responding normally, babies often become distressed very quickly. They try to reconnect, they look harder, they search the face. When the emotional rhythm disappears, the baby reacts. That tells us something important. Babies do not only respond to what a person does, they respond to whether the connection feels real, stable, and emotionally available. And that is why this matters to you. Because this is not only about babies, it is also about human perception before language gets in the way. Adults often talk themselves out of discomfort. We say things like, maybe I am overthinking, maybe it is nothing, maybe I am just tired. We ignore subtle tension because we do not have enough proof to explain it. Babies do something much simpler. They react. They do not hide confusion to be polite. They do not force themselves to stay calm for the sake of social comfort. If something feels off, their body often shows it immediately. In a strange way, watching a baby react can remind us of something we once had too, a faster, more instinctive way of reading the room. But there is another layer here, and it matters. A baby crying around someone does not always mean that person is unsafe. Sometimes it simply means that person feels unfamiliar in a very specific way. Their smell may be different. Their voice may have a different rhythm. Their eye contact may feel more intense. Their way of holding the baby may not match the pattern the baby knows from home. Babies rely heavily on predictability. They learn safety through repetition. The same voice, the same pacing, the same kind of touch, the same emotional rhythm over and over again. So when a new person enters with a very different pattern, The baby's nervous system may respond with caution. That means the cry is not always a verdict. Sometimes it is just the body saying, "This is new, I do not understand it yet, and I am not ready." That is a much more useful explanation than simply saying the baby likes one person and dislikes another. This question matters more than it seems, because babies do not understand people through words. They do not know reputation, politeness, or social masks. They cannot explain what feels wrong, and yet they often react with surprising speed. That raises a deeper possibility. Maybe babies are not simply crying because they are tired or overwhelmed. Maybe they are reacting to signals adults have learned to ignore. Not hidden magic, not fantasy, just human psychology in its earliest form.